Anyways, hey guys, it's Will here. As you can see, we have a special guest with us today.
Hello, my name's Callum.
So you might see him now from time to time on the channel. Mostly going to be your source for historical stuff that's outside of World War II, like the box that we're going to be talking about today, which is the Waterloo starter set. So you were interested in this. I know you got me into epic scale Waterloo, but I mostly play a lot of bolt action. But what do you mostly play besides for historical reasons? Why? Yeah. So what do you play and why Napoleonic era?
Yeah, well, I'm really just getting into the hobby. I've played one game of epic scale Waterloo before. I'm very fascinated by the Napoleonic warfare era. I find the interplay of cannons and cavalry and infantry formations really fascinating. It would be oversimplifying it to say it's rock, paper, scissors style, but I like the Napoleonic era because it's very strongly about formations. Going in line versus into square totally changes an infantry regiment to be effective against other infantry versus effective against cavalry, and opens up whole new weaknesses as well. So I just love that interplay, and I love that it makes every unit on the board feel like it could be anything. And it gives you that sort of really satisfying tactical feel about maneuvering troops.
Yeah, I'd say that. I liked our game of Epic, and I'm excited to play the more in-depth features because I think with the Epic scale, I'm not really going to paint it, but I think they kind of know that, and that's why it's colored plastic. Whereas this, I can actually paint a whole regiment. And this box here, when we look into it, can actually, if you don't care about button counting, this makes what a platoon, a regiment, whatever your game is called, a battalion, of a whole army. So for the price of one starter box, you basically get two that you can split your friends with some foot guys that are special, or you can have it for yourself like I am, which is going to be, I'm going to be running them as British for Peninsula War. They don't make a Peninsula War starter box. But I do say I like Epic. It feels like old Warhammer Fantasy, but with spicy boomsticks, and it plays a lot faster, like that bolt action feel. So it definitely feels like a beginner's game of historicals if you wanted to get into something that wasn't World War, and you are very much playing with a group of friends. This is a very casual game. It is meant to be played with some dudes over a day, drinking beer, eating chips, having like 2v2 games plus. So it's going to be very interesting. So we're going to, unless you have anything else to add to that.
Oh no, let's get into it. Let's see.
So we're going to switch the camera here, and we're going to get into inside the box. Hey guys, we're here at the opening section. I'm behind the camera doing some freaking just jerry-rigged bullshit to get this to work, but we're here to have fun, so I'm going to let Callum have the joys of opening the box.
You're too kind. So here we have the box for Black Powder regular scale Waterloo. Let's see here. On the front you can see what looks like it'll be British, possibly British Hanoverian troops fighting against French cavalry. Right out the gate we see the core rulebook. A little bit dinged on the edges, but beyond that, not bad at all. What size is A4?
Yeah, A4.
A4. Yeah. So not full size, but no problem. Have a look. Oh, the formations I was talking about. Yeah. See, it just completely changes how you engage an enemy if they're in line versus in square versus in march column. But beyond that.
A little intro booklet, it looks like.
Yeah, intro booklet. From the looks of it, has... This is probably going to have a few scenarios in it, do you think?
Probably a few scenarios, probably like how to build your dudes. As most Warlord games intros have.
Yep, this looks like a general overview of different unit types and formations. As well as, yeah, a quick reference for the game. That's really nice to have.
Talking about quick reference.
Yeah. All of the scales and ranges, all of the modifiers. That's what you need to play the game.
Oh, it looks like wound markers on the end.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, look at that. That's cutouts you can use to represent fallen soldiers. That's brilliant. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I was aware that they sell actual wound tokens that you can use, but nice to actually have them right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
Dice.
Free dice. Always good to have those. Oh, what is this? It's already different than the epic scale version.
Instead of them all being in a line, they're actually...
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Warlord does this thing. It says packed to you by, so... I don't know if it's too much glare or anything. Yeah, packed by Maria. Thank you very much. You were the one who ordered it. Do you know specifically what they are?
That should be the cannon for the French.
Yep, that looks like a cannon piece.
I believe it's the cannon for the French.
There we go.
Oh no, it's the cannon for the British. The French get like a bunch of line infantry.
Okay. Oh, we'll keep an eye out for those ones. Oh, here we go. This will be some sprues containing some foot line infantry.
I can zoom in on them for you.
Sure thing. There we go. Yep. It comes in a few pieces. Looks like you get to choose which heads you get to put on them, and then there's bodies with backpacks.
Crisp. These are Perry miniatures, I believe.
Let's have a look.
Unless it says Warlord on them.
It says Warlord Games at the top.
Huh. I guess they actually do make their own lines. Because I know for a while they were selling Perry miniatures for their black line.
Interesting.
Black powder line.
Made in England. Nice. There you go. So I'll put those ones down. Just from looking at the backs of the sprues, I'm finding it difficult to tell which ones are...
Those ones are definitely French dudes. Yeah. They have the long coats.
They do, yeah. So there we go. These are the French sprues. And then at the top over here we have the English. Looks like these are 5 bodies. And the French are 6. There'll probably be a reason for that if you go deeper in, and maybe it'll average out in numbers. It's got all their. They've got. I do always appreciate the details and the touches. So they've got these kits on them. They've got the different head choices with different helmets, different shakos. So I think what's typical with starter boxes is they have less customization options. So for instance, your horsemen that are in the box, you're probably going to have to build them as hussars, which was common during the Battle of Waterloo.
You might. I know Warlord starter boxes are pretty, even their army boxes are pretty good, where they're literally just like throw the main actual, like they don't skip out. So these are like actual models that you could buy separate.
Oh yeah.
So it's the full kits of all their stuff, but it might be different for this one.
Okay.
I know Games Workshop does that, where they give you like custom, like specifics, one piece snap build stuff.
They do, yeah. I find that their starter kits have push fits and that they have one specific build options. It'd be cool to see if you can do multiple, because I'm aware that the major difference between the English and the Hanoverians, which were contributing in the Battle of Waterloo, was very specifically the color of their uniform. The Hanoverians that were taking place were using the British uniform, but it just had orange on it, as opposed to being fully red in the coat. I keep having a look here. I suspect if we keep looking on, we'll find maybe a command line sprue or something along those lines. But you definitely get your infantry out of this box. Oh, so this was packed by Marilla. Thank you. Here we go. And on to cavalry. I mean, I personally think they're quite beautiful. I can see, as with all miniatures, I see mold line there. That's not too difficult to take off, I don't think. Do you want to have a peek? But the detail on the horses is definitely there. I'll say this, if you have any experience with the epic scale, they have the sprues in a color plastic as the nation. To clarify that point, if you have French epic scale Napoleon, they come in blue sprues, blue plastic, and the English are red, which just is really nice for differentiating the two. Like you said earlier, you would be expected to fully prime and paint these ones. It's less likely with the epic scale. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 brews of horses. And this looks like we're on to
Bases?
bases. There we go. Yep, I believe the square ones are for the infantry. You put 4 of them on a slab and then you get something to work with.
Okay. So unlike other war games like Warhammer or Bolt Action, Infinity, it is more akin to a formation line game. So your 4 dudes on one square is basically like a wound on the in the line or the squad.
Yeah.
A bunch of bases. Again, in that Games Workshop or Warlord plastic, so
Yep.
you can plastic glue it. Fits. The plastic that they use on their bases for all their games are the same plastic that they make the models out of. So the model glue actually sticks really well to them, so you can actually glue your models down pretty tight.
That's really nice to know, because I prefer to use super glue. I mean, I do have plastic glue. I like that I have quick acting super glue, so I prefer to use that. But I do know that some plastics, you can get super good, long-lasting connections if you use the right kind. Cannon, here we go. This looks like a commander to me. Mind if I take him out?
Yep.
There's one commander. And that looks like, if I had to guess the English one.
Yep.
And this one, no bones about it. With that.
It's the French.
Actually, hold the phone. I like boxes when they say true to size.
He is true to size.
That one is true to size. I always check. I always check. There you have it.
But yeah, so that, guys, that was the Waterloo Epic Scale, or 28mm scale. Sorry for a bit if the lighting and stuff, the camera was kind of makeshift there. It is night, and we are in the cold season, so light disappears as soon as you see it. But yeah, so final thoughts on this box?
I like it. I think it looks really good. I'm aware that I was comparing bits of it to the Epic scale, and maybe that was just putting expectations in my head that shouldn't have been there. But it looks like this is a really good starter kit. Like I said, it's got the rule book, it's got reference guides, which I really appreciate. As you said earlier, you have enough to split this with a mate and have a proper battle. Or if you both get it, you could just swap the parts, and then you can wind up with a full-scale British force or a full-scale French force. And yeah, one specific thing, just from my knowledge, you can run British units as the Hanoverians, because it's just a difference in the paint on their actual uniforms, and they'll be a bit cheaper, but they might be a bit lower off. And one thing that I'm aware of, if you are trying to do epic scale, if you have Napoleonic French and you want to do a peninsular campaign, you can run Napoleonic French units and just call them Portuguese. Their uniforms are similar enough that at that scale, I don't think people will have a complaint or notice.
Yeah, I did remember hearing something about their interviews when they were talking about it, that their scales on their epic were so small, yet still detailed enough that people are like, oh, we want these different regiments, but they're like, it's a pouch or two on that scale, it doesn't matter, just paint them a different color. So basically, like you were saying,
yeah,
they're like, that's why we only have one generic infantryman for like Europe,
yeah,
because everyone had the same at that scale.
yeah.
But yeah, I would definitely recommend picking this up if you wanted to get a war game that is very casual. It's definitely your dad's war game, but you know, coolified. You know, hey, fellow kids. Definitely recommend checking it out, even in just looking at the rules online. It might be a board that actually watches a battle report. This might be one of the few games where I don't recommend watching a battle report, unless you actually want to play it, and then the rules there is great. But it is the most beers and pretzely casual war game system out there, made by some of the legends of wargaming. So I would highly recommend at least looking it up and look at the beautiful models. Yeah, I think that's it for me.
Yeah, I will say this, there's only one cannon in this, so I think one, you know, when you buy a box, when you buy a starter box, you say, what's the next step? I would recommend getting another cannon. Get another cannon for the other side. Or
Yeah, cavalry for the one side that doesn't get cavalry, and then cannon for the side that does it. The idea is, it's just like a Warhammer starter box, so it's like, you don't get a full platoon or like a full battle force, but you do get a taste. So one side gets like the strong tank thing, while the other side gets most infantry. It's kind of like that.
Yeah.
But if you can easily just buy the replacements or run this box as one whole army.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Yeah, like I said, room to grow. And then yeah, if you want to if you grab a friend, maybe you don't have a historical side that you would choose. Say, I'm the cannon side. You can be the horses side. Go from there.
Yep. Bye-bye. We will see you guys in the next video. Click the video. Click it. Click the video. You know you want to. Click it. Sun. I am the sun god.
Praise.